3 on solving systems by elimination. Now, elimination means to literally get rid of. So we are going to try and get rid of one of the variables to solve for the other. And then, of course, as we've been doing this whole chapter, plug that answer in to solve for the other variable. So what does that all look like? Well, first we're given two equations. So I'm going to write down my first equation here, which is 3x minus 4y equals 10. And x plus 4y equals negative 2. Now, first thing I want to point out to you is that I've lined up my coefficients and my constants. So I have my x's lined up. This is my x column. This is my y column. And this is my constant column. Okay? When doing that, you can clearly see which variable you can eliminate. Now, this one here I can't eliminate. But I do see here that I have a negative 4y plus 4y, which would become 0. So these actually cancel out, and now I can solve for x. So 3x plus 1x gives me 4x. On this side, look at my constants. I have 10 minus 2, which is 8. To get the x by itself, divide by 4. 4's cancel. X falls down. 4 divided into 8 gives me 2, and that's my first answer. So again, we're writing our answers like coordinate points. Okay, so now we're going to solve for y. Now you can pick either one of these equations. It does not matter which one you choose, and just swap out the value of x. So you're done with the elimination now. Now it's just solve for the other variable. So I'm going to pick that second equation just because it does have less numbers. All right, and the x is by itself already, which is nice. So it's an easy little plug-in. So I have 2 plus 4y equals negative 2. All right, combine those like terms, move that 2 over. So opposite of positive 2 is negative 2. So I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. My 2's cancel here, leaving me with 4y equals negative 4. Divide by 4. To get y by itself, and y is going to equal negative 1. So my answer here is 2, negative 1. All right, let's try another one. I have y plus 3x equals negative 2. Then I have 2y minus 3x equals 14. All right, do I see one that I can eliminate right away? I do, the x's right here. Because positive 3x, take away 3x, cancels out, leaving me with the rest. So I have 1y plus 2y gives me 3y. And the reason I know to add is because there's no negative in front of this 2y, which would mean to subtract. So we always know it's positive, so you just add. Okay, and then you come over here, and you get 14 take away 2, which gives me 12. All right, get that y by itself, so we divide by 3. The y now falls down by itself, and 3 goes into 12 4 times. So you have so far found your y answer, which is 4. At this point, you're done with elimination. You just come back up and pick a formula to put the 4 into. I'm going to pick the top one, so we have y plus 3x equals negative 2. And now instead of the y, I'm going to put 4. So I have 4 plus 3x equals negative 2. I'm going to combine my like terms, which means I'm going to move this 4. It's positive, so I'm going to make it negative. My 4's cancel, giving me 3x equals negative 6. Get that x by itself, so I'm going to divide by 3. 3's cancel, x falls down, and I get negative 2. So my answer for this equation is negative 2, 4. All right, let's try another one. Here we have 2x plus y equals negative 5. 2x minus 5y equals 13. Okay, right away I don't see any possible eliminations. I see that these could have eliminated if one of them was negative. This one here, well, if this was a 5y, these could have eliminated. So what I'm going to do is actually change the sign of one of the whole problems. I'm going to pick this top one. I'm going to multiply each of these by a -1, which just basically means I'm going to take the opposite of each of these. So in my yellow, I'm going to show you the new sign. So instead of positive 2x, now it's a -2x. Instead of positive y, it's now going to be a negative y. And instead of -5, it's now going to be a positive 5. Changing all of the signs allows me to do an elimination. So now I have -2x plus 2x, and these cancel. -y minus 5y gives me -6y. Remember, if they're the same sign, we add and keep the sign. And now I have 13 plus 5, which is 18. Get that variable by itself, so I'm going to divide by -6. 6's cancel, y falls down. 6 goes into 18 3 times. Positive and a negative equals a negative. So you found now your first answer for y. And again, now you're done with elimination. Just go back up and plug in that -3. I'm going to pick this second equation here. So we have positive 2x minus 5y equals 13. Okay, plugging in that value for y gives me 2x minus 5 times -3 equals 13. All right. So I have 2x, -5 times -3 gives me a positive 15 equals 13. Okay, I'm going to move that 15 over. So I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides. 15's cancel. 2x falls down. And I have 15 take away 13, which is going to be -2. -2 because I had more negatives than I had positives. Divide by 2. 2's cancel. X falls down. 2 goes into 2 one time. Negative and a positive equals a negative. And your answer is -1. All right, let's try another one. Let's look at this. We have -5x plus 2y equals 32. 2x plus 3y equals 10. So you can see that just changing signs or just elimination is not possible on here. We need to do some reconstruction. But I do see that I could eliminate these x's because I have a negative and a positive if they were both the same value. So what does 5 and 2 have in common? They both have 10 in common. So I'm going to multiply this whole thing by 2 so I can get 2 times 5, which would be a 10. So I'm going to multiply this whole thing by 5 for the same reason. Now, this is like major distributive property, okay, like triple rainbow this one. We have 2 times -5 gives me -10x. Let's do it again. 2 times positive 2y gives me positive 4y. One more time. 2 times 32 is going to give me 64. All right, we're done with that first one. Now let's do the next one. We have 5 times 2x is going to give me 10x plus 5 times 3y gives me 15y equals, and last time, 5 times 10 gives me 50. All right, now I have an elimination. I can eliminate my 10x's because they've canceled. So I'm left with 4 plus 15y, which is going to give me 19y, and 64 plus 50 is going to give me 114. I'm going to divide by 19 to get y by itself, and y equals 6. So my first coordinate point, y is going to equal 6. Now, we just go back up and pick one of the equations, one of the originals. All right, no more elimination, and just plug it in. So let's pick the bottom one. 2x plus 3y equals 10. Now instead of y, I'm going to put in 6. 2x plus 3 times 6 equals 10, which comes out to 2x plus 18 equals 10. Combine your like terms, so move that 18 over. Okay, these cancel, giving me 2x equals 10 take away 18 is going to be negative 8. All right, now get that x by itself, so I'm going to divide by 2. And x equals negative 4. So my final answer here is negative 4, 6. All right, I hope this helps.